Hey guys, welcome back to Brain Dump. My name is Kai. It's December 10th. I feel like this year just started. Anyway, so there are so many traits that I used to have that came from my father, but since I've been working on myself, I've been I wouldn't say like cutting them out of my life, but I've been trying my best to not incorporate those things in my day-to-day routine. My dad always has a fake face on. Like, it's to the point where no one else in my family believes that he's abusive, like, at all. And they don't open their eyes, Which sucks. It does. And don't even get me started on that. But it's just, I used to want to be perceived as this perfect person 100% of the time. And I know I've talked about that before. But now, if I'm being honest, I just want to be viewed as a person. Yes, I make mistakes. Yes, I cuss way too fucking much. Yes, I do stupid shit, but I'm a person. I feel like growing up watching my father always put on this facade anytime we would leave the house. He unintentionally taught me to do that too. I thought it was normal, having a face for home and a face for in public. You had to be different. I think that my dad puts on a face because he's shitty, and deep down, he knows he's shitty, but he'll never admit that. And as sad as that sounds, it's like, I would kill for a relationship with my dad, but he will never take accountability. At this point, I'm not even asking for him to apologize. Like, isn't that so fucking sad? I just want him to so much as admit that he was abusive, but I know he will never do that. To this day, he denies every single thing I say about him, and it's sad because he wants me to think that I'm crazy. I wish I could have a normal conversation with my father without feeling like I'm talking to a toddler. It's exhausting having to converse with him, so that's why I choose not to. So, there I was in high school, and I really think only up to this year did I actually become aware of this. I would put on my face before I leave the house, like, I'm leaving, time to go be someone that I'm not. My brain, it was wired to think that that was normal. And there are so many ways that this has directly impacted my life, and some of it has definitely sucked for sure, but I think I'm getting better at not putting on a face anymore, because being myself just is so much, I don't know, it's a lot less mental energy than trying to be someone that I'm not, and that's obvious. I feel like inner confidence comes from who you are when no one else is watching, because you're not judging yourself, which is a huge part of it. I was finding myself coming home from like a long day. Maybe I was hanging out with my friends, or maybe I just went to work, and I came home and I would be so fucking exhausted because I was putting so much mental energy into being this fake energetic version of myself that only existed when I was around other people. And when I would come home, I would just curl up and that version of me would die. And that's so sad, but I would just, seriously. Once I realized that I'm happier as myself, I also realized that not many people are totally different in public than they are in private. And that was something that I needed to work on. I've just noticed that it's so much easier to make friends when you're being yourself. And it's like, all these things are so common sense. Like, duh, you should know this. You're 20 years old, you should know this. But it didn't go through my brain until I had to learn the hard way. I think people can tell if you're being genuine and down to earth. I mean, I can usually tell when people are being honest and not, trying to be a heightened version of themselves just to get a good first impression. I want to give the truest version of myself to anyone that comes into my life, because I'm not perfect at all, and I want to be able to show the people in my life that I'm not, and that they can show me that they're not either. And for a while, there were people in my life that, if my life wasn't going perfectly, it would somehow inconvenience them. And it's like, why did I care? And if someone has a problem with how my life is going, and if it's affecting their day-to-day life, then okay, then that's that. Sorry, you're gonna have to go bye-bye. I feel like taking the audience away by taking a step back from social media for a while, it helped me stop caring about what other people thought of me. I held on so tight to that grasp of what the public thought of me, and now I truly just do not give a fuck. If someone doesn't like me for who I am now, okay, goodbye. Like, I don't care. I don't give two shits. People are always coming and going. It doesn't matter to me anymore. I think the only image that really does matter is the you when no one else is watching, because you're not afraid of judgment and you can just be unapologetically yourself. And I also think that's a huge part of why I used to apologize so much. I didn't respect myself as a person, so I would say I'm sorry for existing. I would say I'm sorry for standing, for walking, for talking, for eating, for drinking, for just being a human being, because I hated every little thing about myself. There was a time in my life when going out with friends physically pained me because I was so afraid of the judgment, and I don't want to live my entire life afraid of judgment. It's not fair to me. So I had a therapy session the other day and we talked about feelings. Duh. Sometimes I assign a meaning to a certain feeling, like if I think sad or angry, I associate those with being bad. And in reality, sad and angry aren't bad feelings, they're necessary, and so many people are brought up thinking that upset is a negative emotion, but it's literally just an emotion. I feel like since I always saw how being mad or upset as bad growing up, it's affecting me now as an adult, and I need to stop thinking that way. Because it's okay to be sad and it's okay to be mad. I have to give myself the chance to feel those feelings rather than ignoring them simply because they're uncomfortable. This relates to the topic because I used to hide those quote-unquote bad emotions because I was embarrassed. I would push them away. You know, obviously it's embarrassing to lash out or be upset or angry. We all know what we're like at our worst, and we don't show that to many people. And I would push those feelings away, and it would cause so much long-term anxiety for me. I think a big wake-up sign for me in this aspect was when I was at the psych ward. Kai, shut the fuck up. Anyway, I think I explained this in my little episode for this, but I think it was on my second day there. I had a genuine temper tantrum, and I felt insane. Actually, in that moment, I was like, am I clinically insane? But that is the one and only time in my life that I have completely let go in front of other people. Obviously, the people that were in the psych ward with me saw me at my worst because that's an awful situation. Of course I exploded. But after that happened, I just look at outbursts of my emotions, and it's simply because I don't let those emotions out enough. I need to stop assigning the meaning of bad to those emotions like angry or sad, because it's not healthy. Those emotions are normal. I feel like for a while I was trying to view my life from the third person perspective because I was so obsessed with my appearance on social media. I only cared what I looked like to other people on there. Actually looking at my life through my perspective and being my own person has helped me connect with myself more, and has taught me that the only perspective that should matter to me is my own. I'll never really know what it's like to look at myself from an outsider's point of view. If you think about it, none of us will. We will never be able to see ourselves in the third person point of view, but it's not worth wasting my energy trying to see something that I will never be able to grasp myself, you know? I've been meditating so much recently, and I've noticed how much of an impact it has on my mood and energy for the day. I 10 out of 10 would recommend. I know I've emphasized this before. It makes me feel very content, and not a lot can do that with all the stimulation we live in on a day-to-day basis, so just gonna throw that out there. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say on this topic. Oh my gosh, let me tell you guys what classes I'm registered for next semester. So, here it is. Spanish 101. Yay. I took French in high school, and now they don't offer French online at my college, so we're taking Spanish! Yes! And then English Composition 1102, Critical and Academic Thinking for Success. It's a 1-credit class. I don't know. I mean, my academic advisor pretty much signed me up for all these classes except for my psychology class. And then Communications, Public Speaking. Yes. And then I have technically 2 biology classes. One is just Introductory Biology 1, and that's 3 credits. And then Introductory Biology 1 Lab, and that's 1 credit. So I'm assuming they're like intertwined type deal, but they're 2 separate classes. And then Introduction to Psychological Adjustment, and that's 3 credits. So I'm taking a total of 17 credit hours next semester, which is going to be so great. I think I'll be good. I took 15 credit hours this semester, and I felt like I could manage the workload, and yeah. Alright, let me go through my songs of the week. Number 1, Stick Season by Noah Kahan. I know that's a little bit of a throwback, but oh my gosh, what a great song. The Shade by Rex Orange County. These are all like throwbacks, whatever. Christmas Tree Farm by Taylor Swift, of course. Reaper by Clairo, and then Just Like a Movie by The Wallows. Yeah. Thanks for listening, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. Remember, you're loved, you're valued, and you're appreciated, and be your fucking self.